Hello guys, how is it going? Welcome back to the Free Garden. Marco is here, and today we're gonna be talking about natural fertilizers. There's a way of farming originated in Korea hundreds of years ago called KNF, Korea Natural Farming, that involves the culturing of indigenous microorganisms called IMO, like bacteria, fungi and nematodes, in order to produce a fertile soil. These microorganisms are generated through fermentation, and they are introduced from the wild surrounding your garden and the place where you live into a soil structure. Today we're gonna see 3 easy recipes. They will take few days to make. Some of them it will take even a week, but it will produce a really natural and really effective fertilizer that will stop you from buying fertilizer from shops. So let's get into it. So in order to start our fertilizer, we need a container, possibly in glass, 500 grams of rice. I'm using arborio because it's the one with the most concentrated amount of starch, and the starch must mix with the water, and then we will get rid of the rice. We will need water, and the water must be rainy water. If you don't have any rainwater, you can just put a bucket with tap water outside in the garden for at least 24 hours. So start putting the rice inside the bowl and mix it with the water. As you can see, the water already became white, and now we have to filter it and separate the water from the rice. So now the next step, when the water is gonna be basically this color and all the starch is gonna be into our water, we have to cover it with a breathable cloth. So this process will take around 2 days, and meanwhile our organism, they're gonna get inside the water and they're gonna start to feed themselves with the starch that we got from the rice. The really important thing is to keep only a breathable cloth in order to don't let any other organism inside the water and contaminate basically our fertilizer. And around after 1 or 2 days is gonna start to change the smell, so you will have a more pungent and acidic smell. I'll see you in 2 days. So after 2 or 3 days has passed by, now is the time to add to our mix full fat milk. So we are using full fat milk because it's rich in lactose. I'm using more or less half a liter of milk, and now we need to wait another 2 or 3 days to let the lactobacillus eat the lactose. After 2 or 3 days, our mix is gonna start to fermentate, and we're gonna find on top of the liquid is gonna be basically a layer of kind of cheese. It looks like kind of cheese. The best place to let it fermentate is room temperature, so I will put it in the kitchen somewhere hidden, and remember to don't forget it because it's gonna start to stink if not. I'll see you again in 2 days. Welcome back guys. 2 days has gone, and now our liquid is ready, and as you can see, the top has separated from the bottom, so the milk has coagulated, and now it's time to separate the liquid from the top, and our fertilizer is gonna be ready. So let's do it. I'm gonna use this cloth to filter it, but you can use any cheesecloth that you have, or anything that is gonna filter it without letting the solid part pass through. So this is another fertilizer, part of the KNF series, and it's really easy to make. The special ingredient for this fertilizer is any plant that is thriving in your garden, lands or parks near you. In this case, I'm using nettle. Nettle is a really nice plant, even for human consumption, as we use it for a lot of peas and as a medical plant as well. Just make sure when you pick it to use gloves, because it can irritate your skin. It's not that painful, but it's still bothering. So the quantity I usually use to make this fertilizer is 500 grams of brown sugar and 500 grams of any infested plants, in this case nettle. So we start by chopping our plants in small pieces. So once we finish to chop our nettle, let's mix it up with the sugar. I usually prefer to mix it and smash a bit our plant in order to start the fermentation quicker. And now that the mix is ready, we will have to wait 7 days, 5 to 7 days, until the fermentation has finished. And we will start to have some liquid inside our jar. So I see you in 7 days. So after a week, you're gonna start to see the liquid at the bottom of our mix. And now it's time to strain it and separate the juice from all the rest of the plant. I'm gonna help with the hand in order to get all the juice out of the mix. And this is just a concentrate, so it must be diluted with water in order to be used. And so the rest of the plant, we can just put it back in the compost or somewhere in our garden. So now we're gonna transfer into the bottle, and it's ready to be stored, and that's it. This is the color of the juice. I've used one of my coolest bottles to store it. So now that you strain all the liquid from the organic matter, it's ready to be diluted with water. And my quantities are 5 ml of the concentrate for a liter of water. I hope it's gonna be helpful for you. And let me know in the comment if you're gonna do any test, or if you're gonna try to make it. I really would like to see other results and your opinion on it. So this is another fertilizer we can make always from our KNF Korean natural farming. Our plants in a later stage, they can suffer from an absence of calcium. So with this fertilizer, we will make sure that our plants, they always gonna have the calcium they need to grow. So with this method, we're gonna transform the calcium carbonate into normal calcium in order for the plants to absorb all the calcium they need in order to grow. For this fertilizer you will need eggshells, and the best way to use the eggshells is to toast them and in the pan like you toast any kind of food, and crush it completely. In this way they're gonna become soluble and they can mix up with the liquids basically. Other thing we need is gonna be vinegar. Take a large container. In this case I'm using 500 ml of vinegar and 50 grams of eggshell. One of the things you need to be careful when you have the mix ready is to don't cover. Just cover it with a breathable cloth, because the mix with between the eggs and the vinegar is gonna release carbon dioxide, so the container can actually explode. So remember to let the liquid breathe, and just wait until the mix stops bubbling basically. So let's put in our eggs. You see how is it bubbling up? After our fertilizer is ready, we can actually mix it with water. And I usually dissolve 2 ml of the liquid with 1 liter of water. Remember, always rainy water, never use tap water, unless you left it in the garden for 24 hours. Remember always to use a bigger container than 500 ml of liquid that you're gonna put inside, just because of this reason. You see, the liquid was just until here, and see how much it bubbled up. So guys, for today is everything, and as usual, if you like the video, put a like, subscribe, and I'm really curious to see some of the results you're gonna have making these fertilizers. And you can send me some DMs in my Instagram, and the name is always the Free Garden, and I'll see you at the next video. Ciao.